Hey, Storytelling Ron here. I'm doing another Star Wars Episode 6 adventure thingamajigger. So I just want to show you real quick. Oh yeah, look what I got for Christmas. Oh yeah. Got all the Star Wars books there. That's a couple of GM kits and then GM screens with their little adventures in them. And then, so the GM kits have all the same stuff. So you don't need to get like every one of them, but they have adventures too, so those are kind of fun. Those are kind of fun to read. And then of course I got all these for Christmas. Well, some I bought for myself. Technically I bought them all, but anyway, but my family knew that's for me for Christmas. Anyway, so that's how we roll. So I want to talk about. We just had another adventure. It was really a lot of fun. It was my 2 daughters and boyfriend. Yeah, I know it's kind of weird, but they're all like 15 and up, 21, 20. But it was fun though. I'm doing family stuff. I might as well do family first, and then when they move away, do regulars. Although I have a regular group, but we'll be starting that up again. Hopefully, at the new year. And so I want to talk about I'm doing a very low gritty Tatooine adventure. They're still on the planet. They're poor. They're struggling, man. It's a lot of fun too. They're struggling just for water. And that's good. I love to give them that feel of Tatooine in that sense. And I'm doing a day by day kind of adventure where every day is an adventure. So this Mos Alpha is the image I found off the internet, and I broke down what I wanted for each little section, be fun and characters. And this is obviously Booze, the junkyard guy. I haven't played this yet. The Ugnaught for them. There's a Rodian for the Emporium. There's a Chuga speeder place. Oh, that could be the Ugnaught. I haven't actually. Yeah, I might probably put him as the. They've encountered him. I just haven't described him as any alien or anything. I just made him like a character. The Lilac is the Dewback Ranch person. I don't know where I got the name Lilac, but she runs that. And the Market Square is full of like ragged humans and Jawas that don't, very sad Jawas that don't have anything. And the Imperial Garrison here. I know it's probably hard to see this. The Imperial Garrison is the pirates, and they've had their good characters now that are coming into play. The junkyard there. This is all run down and broken because I had a backstory where the Tusken Raiders recently tried to attack coming over the wall here, and the pirates fought them off. So the pirates are considered somewhat good in this. Everyone's kind of happy they're there, even though they're a bit bullyish. But that's typical. Okay, so that's that. And then of course, what I did is I made a list here of maps I needed to do, and I probably already explained this, but and then these are the different map sections, and I'll show you the maps and what I did today, or yesterday. Yeah, yesterday. So this is on Photoshop. You can use GIMP. Let's see. Let me kind of fit the page here. So this is a Google map. I'm looking around Google, having fun with that on the 3D, doing the 3D camera thing, and looking around and just picking. This is in Arizona, Nevada, somewhere. Mexico, kind of looking in that area. And what I have, okay, so these I have, I put a little secret names layer where I have what are all the encounters. And obviously in Mos Alpha they're going to talk to different characters and kind of get a feel for it. And they went to the Womp Rats, got some Womp Rats, got a little bit of money out of that, and then gave like the pirates some a hind leg of one of the Womp Rats. So that really enamored with them. And then with Booze, the junkyard guy, gave him the front. He's all right, I'll take half a Womp Rat. They're like, okay, I'll take the front half with the head. So he wants to eat the head. He's eating the eyeballs. When they encounter him again. So that's kind of humorous. And they give and then they think they split one up for the market, the starving humans and the Jawas, and I don't know how the roles were or whatever, but they realized that they got to the Jawas wanted the offal, the guts part. That's what they wanted. They wanted the guts, and the humans wanted the meat part. So there was that kind of humor in there. And then they spent 2-day journey down to around the Vapor Farms. Got what I did is I had him roll perception and using electro binoculars, the difficulty of 2 or 3, and then any threats would be an encounter in kind of like a small encounter or large encounter, or maybe a little tougher encounter. So that's kind of how I did encounters. But at the same time, I knew I wanted them to encounter something. You know, one of a small group of Tusken Raiders out there. It was like 2 Tusken Raiders, and so I got a little Tusken Sniper, a Tusken Reaver, which is the one with the gaff stick, and then the massive pet beast, this guy. So as you can see, I'm using the the little. I use the paper minis, and these are my little. I got these off the internet. They're just the toy action figures. So I'm sort of trying to keep with the theme of action figures when I can. And so they had 1 Sniper, 1 Reaver, and 1 pet beast attack them. At some point, this is from a previous adventure. They're traveling, or they found one of the. Let me show you this. They found. Close that. There's the regional map again. Secret stuff. Okay, Vapor Farm. Remote. So this map. This is again another Google map. I found this somewhere interesting, and then I got these Vapor Raiders off of some Google image thing. Cut them out and then placed them on this map, and so they went around. And I even when we played, I zoomed in. Where were they at first? I think they were at this one first, or whichever. I zoomed in like that, so you can see the terrain, the cover. Oh yeah, they ran up to here to get cover, while the guy was up here shooting down at them. Well, they ran through here and then here, so athletics and all that to get there and get cover while the guy's shooting from up above, and he had really good cover, the sniper. And of course the Reaver guy came around with the dog and attacked him. So that was a fun little adventure there, and then of course I rolled difficult. Now they don't have any mechanics because I figured they're new players, the kids, and there's only 3 at this point, and then it's a smuggler, a hired gun, and then a force user. She's a Ataru striker, whatever. Anyway, but they don't have a mechanic, so they had difficulties getting the parts. And I'm kind of doing it where 1 part equals 1 encumbrance, and that 1 part can be used, to repair or fix other Vaporators or whatever they want a droid. I kind of make it generic, but it's funny, they're playing it out like, I want a Vaporator part, I want a droid part, I want a vehicle part. So they're sort of separating them out into parts, those parts, which is fine. And then I kind of determine, based on threats, how many parts they need to fix something. If they roll mechanics and they fail, then they just fail. If it's a really bad fail, I'd say you broke whatever you just were working on. But if they roll threats, then that's like, all right. If they get 3 threats, all right, you need 3 parts. You got to use 3 parts to fix. It's like So that's how I'm doing it. And then each part is like 50 credits. So if they want to try to get it off, sell it, or whatever they want to exchange, around 50 credits, depending on where they're at and stuff. So that's kind of cool. But eventually, so they were working on these. Then the new adventure, the 4th person joined, and obviously he's never played this before. He's never played role playing games before, and so I made it where the farmers were attacked by the Tusken Raiders and all killed, and he was sort of a new hired gun, and so I made him, of course, another where I don't want him to be a mechanic or something. There's a new intro. So he was lost, hiding in the desert, and he heard them, and he finally came over there. Rolled perceptions, he kept failing, but he finally just came up. Hey, didn't. As he got closer and closer, and I made it so it could be like he could shoot them or they could shoot him because he kept failing his perception and they weren't noticing him, but they played it off fine with, and so he joined them. So he has a slug thrower with a sniper upgrade, so he has long range on it already. Because sniper, I kind of didn't realize this, but slug throwers only have medium range. And I figured that's what the Tusken Raiders use. But I started making their rifles have long range, like they upgraded it. So that was like an extra bonus thing for them. So they got together, and then he knew about the farm, and there was a farm further south. Let me show you. So they're like right about here somewhere. I'm going to say with Vapor. I probably should have moved this Vaporator up here. But then the farm is another day away, and so they were thinking, well, we just go back with what we have. So it's kind of cool. And then finally, my daughter's like, let's just go to the farm, man. We gotta get more stuff, So it's kind of cool. So this is the farm map I did, and this is fun because as soon as I showed them, it's like, oh, we gotta be careful, man. They're gonna come up along the ridge, which is exactly what I was gonna do. Have a sniper up here. So they're like, we gotta be careful. Da da da. They were worried. They had the pack animals. They had 3 Eopies and a dewback that they rented, and they dealt with that. Man, I should show a picture of that. Yeah, let me get a picture of that. Okay, so here's the. So here's the screen I use, and then of course that's the map of the vaporators. Oh, and they had the animals here. Well, I don't know if I had this set up right, but the dewback, they're renting these from the lilac from the town, and here they are trying to get the vaporator, and then of course there's this. They're coming sneaking along, sniping from there. See, I like having these pictures because they can see the terrain, and they're like, oh, I got to get cover here, and they ran over here and got cover here. As he's shooting down at them, had advantage, and this guy just charged along this way. And that's so yeah. So these are my little paper minis, and I'll probably show you a little bit of that. And here is them. Let me do this one, and then this one is them traveling along. Now, actually, I put these on top of the, so they're traveling along on these guys. And I'm doing like where they each have 15 encumbrance plus a rider, and then the dewback has like a 50 encumbrance plus a rider, so they can carry stuff, and that's important too. For like how many droid parts can they get, to carry back, and food parts, and if they get any, like whenever they kill the Tusken Raiders, they'll get the slug throwers and gaff sticks. So those are encumbrance as well. So they're making a list of what they can carry back. So that's kind of fun, and I made it pretty easy on them as far as they didn't need to give these too much water. Because they're used to the desert, but they did need to give them some, and so they're they have only so much water they can do, and if they don't get any water, they get a penalty die. I definitely had them roll their resilience each day about the temperature and needing water, and if they drink water, I would take off a penalty die, and so it was fun to deal with those conditions, as they're traveling along. And her force user has healing, so that came in handy because they were getting some fights, with the Tusken Raiders and stuff. So there's that interesting bit about it, and so they finally get to the farms with the fourth player, and they're totally like, "What do we do with it?" And they see the terrain, they see the dangers, they're coming from here. The smuggler comes in and scouts it out as they're hiding over there. And she checks it out first, or she uses the electro binoculars and sees that it looks semi-safe. I mean, it's all ruined and destroyed, but I consider the Sand People to go in and take things and break things, but they don't like obliterate it. They kind of leave it all intact. So there's still stuff there for them to salvage. But again, I don't like consider them like stormtroopers where they'll just destroy everything. They just kind of come in and grab, they kill the people. Then they come in and grab, simple tools and weapons. But other than that, they leave all the high tech. But they do break it, So they came in. They parked their. I don't have any pictures of it. Darn, I should have took more pictures. They parked their little mounts. They checked out the speeder vessel. They were all excited about that, but of course it was broken and stuck in the sand. And they didn't have very good mechanics. So she realized that my older daughter. So she started just doing what she could to gather. To try to break down, and she had a toolkit, and to break down the vaporators and get the parts. They tried to fix one, but it was too hard. Then they were going to try to fix the land speeder, but that was really hard. And I gave her a mechanic knowledge roll, and so she knew it would take days and very, very hard. So she's like, forget it. But the first thing they did is they went into check the house out, and it was getting dark. So I definitely did night and day. It was kind of cool because the Raiders come out at night. And at that night, they did their watch, and the Raiders came. I had a sniper here, and then I had two with the massive beast come down this way, and two with the massive beast come down this way. And it was in the dark, so they had some sort of stealth stuff, but they could, but they did pretty good on that. So they had a good battle. It was really cool because, man, the new guy shot back, and he had a good sniper roll and killed the guy up here. Thankfully, the Tusken Raiders are pretty easy to kill. They only got 5 wounds and a 4 soak, I think. So it took only 9 to kill, and they did. He was doing that with his slug thrower. And then the 2 Sand Raiders came down here with the massive, and the one over here. And what was cool is they were kind of picking them off, but some got in. Oh, and they did have one they captured from the previous fight and used a stun, but he was tied up here, and they couldn't communicate with him. And he did try to get away once, and they stunned him again. That was cool. It was a fun little. I think it was right up here. He was trying to run, and they. He got out of his tie. He ran to the rocks, but everyone rolled initiative and they shot him before he got there. But so he was here now. So what's cool is the remaining survivors ran up to the building and they were hiding in the house. And I didn't know how well it was going to go. And because the beasts are actually the more dangerous ones, and they were doing quite a bit of damage. Now I'm going to probably change this though. I got these stats from somewhere, but I'm probably going to lower this to a 3. It's a BR4 or Brawn 4, just because I feel like they're tougher than a human, but not that much tougher. Because this is a 5. I don't think this is one step below this guy, and this B2 is a 4. I feel like these little dog beasts should probably be a 3, and maybe if I have a bigger one, it'll be a 4. But at this size, I feel like it should be a 3. So I'm gonna change that now. And besides, I made the brawl only 3 ranks anyway. So that's one thing to know is that your skills are going to be based just off of the characteristics rank or points or whatever. And then you might have some profession ranks that change it to the proficiency die, whatever. So I kind of still trying to grasp that. And then I did what I like to do those, which I'm starting to change my mind on. I like to give them an attack, a knockdown, and then a second attack. Kind of a series of little interesting things. But I never really implement them in the game because there's so much going on. There's so many different. So I might have, I'm starting to realize, maybe in Dungeons and Dragons and in this, how you just got to keep attacks a little more simple and basic than having a series of, progressive attacks. I just never end up using them. So I might just keep it one attack that does kind of this much damage, and that's it. Because at that point you just want to move on to the next bit of the thing. So I'm probably going to start taking those out, because as much as I think about that and add details to the attacks, think they're interesting, it doesn't really play out well in the combat. You're just trying to get through each attack and solve, and they're trying to win and then whoo, as opposed to making it so convoluted and intricate that it becomes tedious. Because there's so much, it's going to get it. A lot of combats can get tedious if it lasts too long. And there's like this constant grind of rolling dice and and looking at the different results and stuff. So I might start taking that out. But anyway, but it was a fun little fight they had. The coolest part is that the beasts were up at the door, and one of the girls was fighting them off. And I was really impressed with one of the guys. He had one frag grenade. I didn't think he'd use it. I just forgot about it. And he said, "I'm gonna use my frag grenade," and he threw it out. Everyone hid behind the door. He threw it out, and boom! And because I made the sand people came up to the wall so they couldn't shoot them. Like they had defilade, like cover, and so they couldn't aim down and shoot at them. So I was like, hey, they're gonna charge in, and it's gonna be But he threw the grenade and killed them all. He killed all the. There was only like 2 or 3 sand people that got there, and then the beasts ran off, and then they started popping them and killed them. So they're like, yeah, So that was cool. And they got and they got the meat, and they got the slug throwers. They're all excited. They got all They got like this whole treasure, like this, and they knew that the slug throwers were like 200-ish credits, at the town. They could make money off of that. So they were like, yeah. And so they spent some time here getting all the stuff, getting salvaged, the workshop. I kind of made them each do something while the 2 characters were working together to salvage parts, and then what did the others do and stuff. So that was cool. So they did that, and then they're like. And then they're going to return back to Mos Halfa. So they traveled back, and I did one final fight in the desert, and I basically just zoomed this out, and then had the 2. Oh, let me show you. Had 2. Where is it at? So here's my Tusken Raiders. These are my minis. I'm going to put these on my Patreon, and they're for free. But I'm not going to charge for these. But I'll start putting these on there in the new year, and so you guys can just come and download them if you'd like. But just check my website, storytellingron.com, and you'll see the link to that. And here's my banthas, and I had these guys come, and of course you got extra beasts. But I might change the sizes of these, like make a larger one. I think I do have a larger one here. This one's a little bigger. I might make it even bigger, and that would be the tougher one, like a more wild one, But so I had these guys come with 2 banthas and then a sniper on the back of them, and these are cool because they're folded over, and I can just place an extra sand raider sand person on the back of them. So that's kind of cool. And so it was like a standoff where they're shooting, and I even had the sand people to shoot the Eopies, and the dewbacks were also victims too, because for me they were like seeking revenge and trying to just kill their mounts because they knew that was gonna mess up their thing. And the beast came in, and it was a good fight. It was a tough fight. They were scared. The beasts were pretty tough. Yeah, okay. I could go into detail about that, but it was I definitely had a point where the beasts ran off. They were getting wounded or disabled, like critical role disabled, so that they were like like getting shot. They and like at one point one of them did maybe 1 success but 4 advantages. So I said, do you want to hit it or do you want to disable it? So it's like, it's kind of like angry and crawling, trying to shake off a shot. And so they disabled it because there was 2 of them charging at him. And then those guys, and then the riders were in the back just sniping from their banthas. And so, but eventually they, it was harrowing, but they finally got it. And even though the force user had to heal, and so they won. They got the banthas, so they're all like, yeah, and I made it a little tricky, but I gave them advantage. Like they came up with their own mounts, so I felt like that calmed the banthas down. And even though the banthas don't like, they're mostly for Tusken Raiders, but I just let them get them because they're they did decent rolls. And so they got those, and then they went back to town. And what was cool is that when they got back to town, I don't have a town map here. Oh, I just have it on here, but they got back to town. The pirates. This is cool because they're all like thinking, yeah, we're just gonna go in. Oh yeah, we got to pay the 10 credits, And I said, no. They're looking at all your mounts and stuff, and they want 500 credits. So that was cool. They were getting an argument with them, and that was turning heroin. They're like, what the, So they're like getting upset. I'm like, well, hey, you got, and they're all. But then they like, we give you food, and they're all like, the pirates. So, well, so that helped in the negotiation. They didn't have very good negotiation skills either. So. Eventually, though, they got him the meat, and then so when they handed him the massive beast meat that they cooked, because they lost one, it got rotted. They rolled bad on the survival to cook it or preserve it, and so they gave him the massive beast meat that they cooked because they had to cook it before it rotted. They're like, "Hey, this is rotten." Yeah, like those Trodat or whatever the Trandoshians or the whatever. All those, dudes like this, this is all rotten. Yeah, so they're all thrilled about that. So that was a good, funny laugh when I did that to them. But they rolled success, but then a threat. So the threat was they had to go talk to Captain Zico, who runs the pirates. So it was cool. They came in with all their mounts, and everyone's all seeing what they're doing. And I think I have a picture here, kind of. I'll just show this one for real funny. So she look at that. That's her role. Boom, 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 boom for negotiations or whatever. And but they come into town. This one. Anyway, this is the town, and there's the different characters. I have the mounts here somewhere. This is another success, I guess. They're doing different. Trying to get deals figured out for all this stuff. But the pirate guy, so he's going to be a recurring character. He's going to be like kind of a dark, funny, good character because he's trying to. I'm trying to keep this place. I'm trying to keep this place secure, okay? I'm barely paying my pirates. He had to deal with them. You got to give me something, and they're like, they're trying to, because that's all their stuff, their banthas, but they give him some bantha milk and said, we'll give you something eventually, once we figure out, or he's like, okay, but, I'm trying to keep these pirates under control, the other pirates. So that's going to come into play at some point. So yeah, that was kind of the end at that point. I gave him 20 XP for that adventure because they did a lot. And got a lot, and now they're going to be building up. They got the banthas, they're going to return the other mounts. They got a bunch of parts. They're going to fix some of the evaporators, I assume. What's next? I got a couple of different regions that they can still go to. I'm thinking of. I know they want to get a ship at some point. So there's the old mines with the Savrip in there and his pets, and I had a TIE bomber in there. I'll probably leave that in there, like as parts. I'll probably put a little vehicle in there that he's been collecting. Like he's not intelligent, but he's semi. So he sort of likes collecting technology. He doesn't know what to do with it though. And that's the Savrip is this guy. He's from the chess set, but he's a tough kind of guy. Him and a couple of pets are in the old mines. And then the old spice mines is where Imperial thing is. And there's a lost sandcrawler. I'm really excited about them going to do that. And they can go hunt more bantha herds if they want to get more money and dewback herds. But I'm going to have some reeks out there attacking them. The Tusken camp is obviously where the radios come from. They don't know that that's there. They're obviously licking their wounds. They've lost a lot of Tusken Raiders, so they're going to have to rethink what they're doing. And I'll probably make a tougher guy like a captain, or and some tougher guys that are going to, depending on if they get some tougher stuff themselves. This is cool. This is where the rankers are, and I'll let them warn them about that. And with the characters or the people at the town. And then there's tentacle beast in the water here. If they ever see this on the map and say, "What's that over there?" There's like a little oasis, but nobody goes there because you don't return. So that'd be interesting. I'll probably put some in there too, like maybe some vehicles thrown sucked into the water because the tentacle beast just attacks anything that comes near the water. But I'm interested in I'll probably build up on this. I haven't really done a lot with this yet. I'll definitely get a Google map of that. I might want to do the terrain around it. I don't have anything terrain-wise around this picture like of this. But I might do something there. Should be fun. Because the Sandcrawler is basically... the Jawas got some battle droids, and they just... I know they can take them out. They got the ion... got the guns, but I'm going to say they just screwed up, and these battle droids with the B2 somehow took them out. And so it's sort of like a ghost ship now. It's just the battle droids sitting around quietly, and all these dead Jawas, and it's been sitting there for like a week or two. And the Jawas, so if they go and do that, that would be cool. Fight these battle droids. And the Jawas over here are concerned. It's not their clan. I'm definitely going to do like clans. Like these are a poor clan, and they're wondering why this other clan hasn't come by to do trading. And so they're going to talk. They'll probably talk to the characters through the junkyard guy or something. So so that I could keep going on and on. But this is the way I just do it, and eventually they'll get off the planet. They're going to get a ship. I'm thinking over here with the Imperial Spice Mines, there's going to be a ship there. I think the story is that I'm going to have these guys, like, they own this, but they're too afraid to do anything. But since the adventurers are there, they're going to ask them to help. But when they get there, there's going to be some freighter there taking all the stuff, and they're like, whoa, that's owned by Mos Alpha. So who are these people taking all their stuff? And so that might be the ship that they can take. Some old clunker, maybe some pirates trying to steal it all. So that might be fun to do it like that. But anyway, so that's it for now. I just wanted to, I know I'm going on and on and on, but I enjoy this, and hopefully it'll help you guys get ideas and then how to GM and yeah. So thanks for watching. I hope this was helpful.